Hello, 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 y bendición. Welcome to Pero Who Am I? A podcast about self discovery and the life of a modern day Latina with your host, Lisa Marie. Hello, hello, good evening, good morning, good day, buenos días, ¿cómo están? Today's Spanish lesson of the day is going to be the word amigo or amiga, depending on who you're talking to, and that means friend. Um, Today's topic is going to be speaking on friends and friendships, so I thought it'd be appropriate to learn the word friend in Spanish. Um, Growing up, my grandmother used to always tell me this crazy saying, and I had to call her today to have her tell it to me again because it's really, as a kid, you pay no mind to it. And to translate it into English is probably going to sound crazy, but the phrase she uses es un amigo es un peso en el bolsillo. Y si ese bolsillo tiene un roto y el peso se pierde, el bolsillo no era amigo tuyo. And basically, what it's saying is that a friend is like $1 in your pocket. And if your pocket has a hole and you lose that dollar because your pocket had a hole, then that pocket was never a friend of yours. And I think it's hilarious translating it in English, but in Spanish, it really makes a lot of sense. You know, the pocket was supposed to protect your dollar, he was supposed to hold on to that dollar for you. And he let that shit go, he let it disappear. Money is valuable, just as friendships should be valuable. And on today's topic, we're going to discuss various friendships, different kinds of friendships, and how it relates to me and my friends. Did you know that there were different levels of friendship? So you can have a friendship with someone that is you think is a lifelong friend, but they're really not. There's a Medea saying that goes around all the time. It pops up every once in a while. I hear it, and she's basically telling you where you have some friendships are in your life for a season. They're only meant for one reason, and it could be whatever you're going through right then and there in that time of life, whether it's when you were in middle school, when you were in high school. We have friendships at work, we have friendships throughout life, and you know, some people value friendships more than others. Some people don't realize how important some friendships can be. I am truly grateful for my circle of friends that my ride or dies. Like, they're there for me through thick and thin, even when they don't agree with what I'm doing, or they're the ones that'll tell me, hey, this isn't right, or what you're doing is not you. What's going on? Let's sit down, let's talk about it. And these are friends that, I don't necessarily talk to every single day. I mean, there are some friends I have that I don't talk to on a weekly basis. We check in with each other, we see each other on social media, but every once in a while we'll take a moment, shoot a text message, shoot a phone call. Hey, checking in, how you doing? Hope everything is good. Do you need anything? Let's get together for some drinks. I have those type of friendships, and I know that when it comes to push to shove and I need somebody to have my back, those friends are going to be there for me. So I wanted to go over the different types of friendships that I did a little bit of research, did some Googling, good old Google, and I want to say that I found 5 different types of friendships. There are 5 different types of friendships, and I'm sure there's more. And it's, it definitely, again, like the Medea, friendships for a season, or, they're in your life for a specific part of your life. So one of the types of friendships that I found was true connections. And these are the friendships that are going to be built on a real connection. And normally they have a specific meaning to you. These are my ride or dies. These true connection friendships are my ride or dies. They're the ones that are going to be there through thick and thin. They're likely to stick around for a long time. So you probably met them in your middle school days, high school, college days, and they're the ones that when you hit that over 30 hump, or you hit that, you just had a kid, or that big breakup that you never thought would ever happen, they're the ones that are there for you. They share your major life moments and your accomplishments in life. They're also the ones that don't rely on you. They don't rely on being near you or talking to you on a constant basis. And they're the ones that you can check in once in a while and know that if you need something, they're going to be there for you. And vice versa. Those are the friendships that if they need something at the drop of a hat, you're going to be there for them. So our next level of friendship, or next type of friendship, is going to be those needy friendships. These are the ones that are just super clingy, feel the need to talk to you every single day. They're constantly calling you, constantly texting you. Now, don't get it wrong. These are not, some true connection friendships do talk on a daily basis. They do text on a daily basis. But there's a difference between needy friendships. Needy friendships are normally one-sided. They need something from you. They need to hear from you. They need to talk to you. Their well-being is dependent of you and that friendship. It's a very unhealthy balance. And again, like I said, it's normally one-sided. So then we have our professional friendships. And professional friendships are your coworkers, or they're the ones that you use for networking purposes. These are the ones that you use for professional development so that you can either move up in the professional world, or if you own your own business, these are going to be your connections, your vendors, people that, they're going to support you and you support them. Then we have romantic friends. Now, these are your friends with benefits. These are the ones where sometimes they start off platonic, but they end up a little bit more romantic. And then we have friendships based on similar interests. And these are normally things that you're going to bond over a common interest. Sometimes they do go on beyond, a certain season of your life. They become lifelong friends, but they normally start over something common, either a love of books, or that one friend that you can call for brunch, or they're not normally friends with your other friends. These friends are separate from everyone else. So I chose this topic on friendships because I think it's really important that we understand who our friends are, what type of friends we have, and not necessarily walk around categorizing, saying, hey, you're my true connection friend and you're my needy friend. But just so that we can acknowledge the type of friendships that we have. My best friends, I consider to be my family. My sisters, I've got 4 sisters, and, I consider them to be my best friends, my really good friends. And then I have, my friends that I share a common interest. I've got my podcast friends that, I can definitely see those friendships progressing into something bigger later on down the line. But those are my similar interests / professional friends, because we can network together. We, support one another. And if needed, if we need to step in to assist for, whatever it may be, we're definitely going to do that. But friendships are super important. They're part of who you are. And throughout my journey in life, I've learned that some friends that you truly believe are your true connection friends, or they're your ride or dies, you're their ride or die. They're not necessarily yours. And that can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes. So, some characteristics of a good friendship is a healthy balance. A good friendship is loyal to each other. A good friendship is honest. You have common interests and you make time for each other. That's super important, time, because our time is valuable. We have so much going on in life right now, and we're learning that time is precious. You can't take back time. You can't, just hit the rewind button and start all over, or go back in time and change your actions or change something that happened. So, if I'm giving you my time, please understand that my time is important to me. My time is valuable. And I expect you to respect that. And I also expect you to value it just as much. Because I personally try not to waste anybody's time. And I try not to be disrespectful about it either. Time is valuable, and that's something important that we really need to acknowledge. So I would say that a good friend is someone who is always going to be honest with you. I need to know that what I'm doing is wrong, or that my thought process is not 100%. I need to know that the outfit I'm planning on going out with does not look right on me. I need you to be honest with me, and I need you to tell me that. I need a friend that's going to love me for me. A good friend is someone who loves you for you. They're not going to try and change you. They're accepting of you, of all your flaws, of all your major accomplishments. They are accepting of your battles. They give more than they take. And that's super important, because you don't want to be in a friendship where you're constantly giving and you're not receiving back. Does that make sense? You don't want to be in a friendship where you're constantly being the one that's on the receiving end. There's got to be give and take always. That happens with a friendship, that happens with a relationship. And a lot of times these good friend qualities are also qualities that you want in a romantic partner. So just think about that as well. A good friend believes in you. This, to me, is probably the icing on the cake. A friend that believes in you is a friend that supports you, that is there for you. They know that your dream of opening up your own business is going to succeed. They're going to be there to support you, to advertise for you. They're going to sit there and boost you up and tell you, hey, you got this. You can do this. Where do I purchase this from? Or how can I promote? How can I help you? That's what a good friend does for you. A friend that believes in you and what you want to accomplish. A good friend is very respectful. They respect you, your time. They don't judge you. And I say that a good friend doesn't judge you because, hey, we're all different. We all have our different beliefs. We all have our quirks. I know mine. I know some of mine. A good friend is someone who is thoughtful. A good friend is someone that is willing to compromise. And compromise is important because if you're not willing to compromise, then you fall into that needy bucket. If it's all about you and it's not about us and it's not about me, then I don't think I want that friend in my life. And a good friend is forgiving. We all make mistakes. First step is acknowledging it. Second step is apologizing for it. And a good friend will forgive you without you even having to apologize. Because let's be honest, there are times we may say or do something unintentionally And while, yeah, we need to man up and apologize for it, a good friend will be like, hey, I know that you know what you did was wrong, and I'm going to forgive you for it. But people, ladies, gentlemen, do not take that kind, forgiving heart for granted. Because there's going to be a time when that friend is going to say, yo, I forgave you the first time. I forgave you the second time. I don't think I could forgive you the third time. So make sure that you're not taking advantage of that. Because I promise you that shit gets old real quick. So I want you guys to take a moment, evaluate your friendships in your life. Make sure that, you're appreciating those that are there for you. Take the time to call your friends, check up on them, make sure that they're doing okay, make sure that they don't need anything. And let's just continue making memories. Let's continue having these friendships that are going to be there for the rest of our lives. Even the seasonal friendships, we still have to appreciate having them for the time that we do have them. They're lessons that we're being taught. They are moments that we'll always cherish later on down the line. Right now we're living in a time where not many people can get together and go out to brunch or go out for drinks. I'm planning a wedding with bridesmaids that I can't even see really. Like, I can call them, I can check up on them, I can video chat them, but I would love to have my girls by my side right now helping me plan my wedding, getting, a bridal shower set up, getting a bachelorette party or trip. We were supposed to do a bachelorette trip. And that's been, I guess, canceled, postponed. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I'm really grateful for my friends. I'm really grateful for my sisters, my mom. They call, they check up on me. They're constantly asking, what's going on? How's everybody doing? We were recently sick here at home, and I had various friends call and check up on me. I even had friends deliver tea and lemons and, just say, just that, do you need anything? Is there anything I can get you? That was, it's truly appreciative. Our friends are not a dime a dozen. Our friends are our right hands. I call my best friend, we call each other yin and yang, because we're there for each other, and that's important. And I'm learning more and more that I don't need a million friends. A handful of friends is perfect for me. I remember being back in high school, I had tons of friends. I mean, I knew most of my senior class. But looking back, it's like, where are those friends now? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still really good friends with some of those people. Or, we may be Facebook friends now because life is life. Life happens. We grow up, we have kids, we are in relationships, we have our own families to attend to now. So I don't expect to see my friends on a daily basis. I don't expect to necessarily hear from them every other day. Like, there's no timeline from when I should hear from my friends or vice versa. But I've gone on a rant now, so I'm going to go back to the purpose of this episode. And the purpose of this episode was to take a moment to evaluate the different types of friendships that are out there. And for me, on my journey, as the whole purpose of me doing this podcast is self-discovery. And I say a lot. I need to stop that. Anyways, I digress. But the purpose was to evaluate my friendships, evaluate the people that are in my life, evaluate where I stand with certain people. And it's not like I have an expectation of where I should belong in their lives. It's their life. Who the hell am I to tell them where I belong? But it's also so that I know where they stand in my life. If I haven't heard from you in over a month, there might be a problem. If you haven't heard from me in a month, there might be a problem. We need to check in. It's time for a check-in. Hey guys, so I recently finished reading the book Becoming by Michelle Obama. And if you're late to the party like I am, you'll definitely want to check her book out. That book was by far one of the best I've listened to lately. If you're like me and you're always on the go, you'll want to check it out on Audible. Use my code to download the free audiobook and get a free 30-day trial by visiting audibletrial.com/pero who am I. I'll include the link in the show description. So that's going to bring me to my next segment, and that is Pero Seriously. And Pero Seriously, for those of you who are new, is my segment in where something has happened this week that I had to take a moment and look at myself and did that really just happen? And this week's Pero Seriously is going to be on weddings. And I'm going to say on weddings because, as you all know, I am planning to get married, working on everything that I need to do to plan out this wedding all along while we're trying to buy a house. I don't recommend it for anybody, but anywho, even if I get married in my backyard, like I'm okay with that. But have you guys looked at the prices for a wedding? Like, am I the only one that refuses to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on one night? Like, I want the big wedding. I truly do. I mean, I already bought my wedding dress. I've got my girls. Like, I'm ready for this. But I'm not trying to spend $100 per person on people that I rarely speak to. I know, it sounds horrible. Mom, I'm sorry, because I'm sure you're going to tell me something about this. You've got family members that you haven't seen, you haven't spoken to, that por costumbre, like they like to say in Spanish, you have to invite. I don't want to. If I haven't seen you, if I haven't spoken to you, you haven't been at a family event, why do I need to invite you? Why do I need to include you? Like, I feel like that's such that's such a toxic custom that we have, is that you have to invite fulana, because God forbid you don't invite fulana, then so and so is gonna get mad, and it just becomes this huge thing. And Mom, I'm sorry. I said I was sorry to begin with, and I'm sorry. I just don't feel that weddings should be so expensive. I think that the principle behind the wedding has been lost. It shouldn't cost thousands of dollars. And I'm not talking $2,000-$3,000. Like, I'm totally fine with that. But I'm seeing weddings that cost $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for me to schmooze in front of my family, to schmooze in front of friends, just to say I do. I mean, I'm all about a courthouse wedding. But in my head, courthouse wedding isn't gonna suffice, because my kids want to wear tuxedos. Their words, not mine. They want to dance. They want to have a party because mom is finally getting married. And I'm okay with that. I understand. I get it. You know, that's a very happy moment for them as well. And it's a happy moment for me to share with my family. But what are your thoughts? Like, do you guys agree, disagree? Send me an email, perowhoami@gmail.com. What are your thoughts on these huge, elaborate weddings? This is going to be a constant topic. We're going to be speaking more on this because, honestly, my wedding date is less than 150 days away. That's super scary because we had a venue booked, but because of COVID and everything, things have changed. And I have to figure this out. And I know I could do a backyard wedding. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing it in my backyard. Not 100% sure about somebody else's backyard unless it's a big enough space, because I wouldn't want to impose on somebody's house, like that's just too much. But anyways, tell me your thoughts. I would really, really appreciate it. I'd love to speak on it. If you're planning a a wedding or a quinceañera, or a huge event that you've had to sit back and look at the pricing, and you've had to question why it's so expensive, or you've had some other factors that have affected your planning, send me an email. I'd love to discuss it. So friends, family, I am going to jump to our next section, and that is palabras de la semana. And this week's palabras de la semana really spoke to me, and it spoke to me in ways that has to do with our topic of the day. And I thought it was interesting. It is, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. And do you know how, I want to say proficient, but I don't think that's the right word. I'm having a brain freeze. Do you know how impactful that is? That most people think storms they wreak havoc. They leave destruction. They are a nuisance. Florida hurricanes, we got to prepare, stock up. Pandemic came, and all of a sudden we needed to stock up on toilet paper because people just don't wipe their ass on a normal basis. But you think of a storm, you think of destruction, and you don't stop to think that that destruction could be the path that you need to move forward. So just, take a moment. Don't feel that just because things aren't going great, or just because there's havoc and destruction happening, that it's not going to lead you to a dead end. There may be a reason behind it, and it's because that path going forward needs to be cleared. So just let that be. Well, mi gente, that's all I have for you this week. If you liked what you heard on this week's episode, please be sure to take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You never know, I just might read your next review. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be notified when a new episode drops.